Hey, I forgot to unmute myself. Hello, it's me, Heidi. As you saw, we have Stefan and Bertil with me in the live studio as per usual. Um, as you saw, the title of this Monday news, it's Monday news. North Carolina stops trying to prevent gender-affirming treatments. I've covered these anti-trans or the attempts of passing anti-trans legislation in the United States of America. Now, I've covered this this sort of anti-trans legislation theme when it comes to the US. I've covered it with the most recent one that was about US was 2 weeks ago, about Virginia trying to ban or about to ban the panic defense in violent crimes. As far as I can tell, that actually went through. Then I had the new anti-trans law in Arkansas. Then I had Alabama with Vishanti some time ago, and yeah, that's what I've had in the past with regards to anti-trans legislation in the United States of America. So, what I want to cover with you today is an article I came across the other day. My news so far had been from a month or two old at the time, but this is just from, let me see, this is from, you can just laugh at me if you want, but ABC News from April 20th. So this would have been last week Tuesday. The article is from abcnews.go.com, titled "North Carolina Won't Pass Bill to Ban Youth Trans Procedures." And I'll take that up. There we go. So here we are. So the North Carolina Republican lawmaker came up with this sort of brain fart of trying to go and limit the medical or the sort to limit the availability of these medical treatments for transgender people under the age of 21. This was called Senate Bill 514, and it was, as you can read here, it was aimed to punish doctors who would facilitate. Note the wording. Note the wording facilitate. I will come back to that a bit later. So I think the commentary was from the Senate, the spokesperson Pat Ryan, who's a spokesperson for the GOP Senate leader Phil Berger, that it won't be voted on in the North Carolina Senate. And this is it. it was worrying. Uh, it was one of the bill's authors, and I think if was a Republican senator, Ralph Hayes, who didn't respond to an email to comment on that decision. Look, I'm not the least bit surprised that that this guy didn't reply. He's probably shitting his pants right now because he got too much negative attention. But yeah, this would have meant this would have meant apparently this would have meant criminal charges to these healthcare professionals, etc., who are providing these gender confirming hormone treatments, puberty blockers, and or surgery to minors and young adults, which is horrible. I mean, uh, some time ago, I went through this with trans atheist, with regards to the ban on the puberty blockers in the UK for youngsters under the age of 16. This my I don't have very extensive knowledge of the blocker treatments in the US, but if there's someone in my chat or then in my comment section, just let me know what the situation is right now. I understand it would depend on which state you live in, obviously, but just please let me know how it is in the US. I have some issues with my gear. I'll be right back. There we go. Sorry about that. So, this back to the news. Yeah, it's been. This would have been really devastating to the community in North Carolina. I mean, the LGBT plus community, especially the trans community. And this would have meant prohibiting doctors from, as I said, providing gender confirming hormone treatment, puberty blockers, or surgery. And this would have, as the article goes on to say, that it would have been turned down, if not by the Senate itself, but the senator, a Democrat Senate, or sorry, the governor, Democratic Governor Roy Cooper. Also, this bill, Senate Bill 514 did not pass any of the committees, and there was lack of support from all sides. Apparently, from Cooper. So excuse me, Berger, from the Senate leader. And there is the Equality North Carolina, the state's biggest advocacy group for the transgender community, who went on to say on Twitter that the fact that the bill 514 was turned down is welcome news, but of course there has been a toll on the community. Of course, because the trans community would have lived in fear. Those in the process of transitioning would have lost or would have been cut out of the process of transitioning. All those aged 18 to 20, or adults between 18 and 21, those young adults who would have been in the reassignment process apparently would have been stripped away of their right to keep on the same track, going on their transition, and losing their hormones, the hormone treatments, and those were on the waiting list for gender reassignment surgery and such. And but it's been, as the group said, this Equality North Carolina wrote in their tweet as follows, and I quote: this is welcome news, but the trauma and impact of these bills on the trans community over the past few weeks have been horrifying. The group wrote. Legislators who sponsored this bill and the other two anti-trans bills in the NCGA have blood on their hands. Yeah, think about that. That is something that typically hits me the most. The loss of life, just because some assholes who happen to have power, some assholes in power, use their how shall I put this, the voters' money to promote bills and legislation that hurts others, that causes death, causes suicide, causes death. This is what I would assume Equality North Carolina means by saying that the legislators have blood on their hands. This is what I would assume that means, unfortunately. But yes, this Republican senator, state senator Ralph Hayes, one of the bill's authors, did not reply to the Senate leader, the GOP Senate leader, Phil Berger, for whom Pat Ryan was talking for. He did not answer this leader Berger's email. I'm not surprised, these dipshits, they take it up. If they go for it. If it fails, just take the money and run. They're just trying to cover their ass at the moment, I would assume. The Hayes' proposal, titled Youth Health Protection Act, would have been similar to other bills that had been introduced by Republican lawmakers across the country. I referred to my previous live streams regarding Alabama and Arkansas, and then trying to push these horrible pieces of legislation, and then Virginia banning the so-called panic defense in violent crimes. So there's quite a bit happening at the moment in this field in the U.S. So it was this quote-unquote Youth Health Protection Act was aiming to seek to limit treatments for transgender adolescents, though many other applied the limitation to those under 18 rather than 21. This is an interesting point that this one in North Carolina has quote unquote raised the age limit from 18 to 21. Typically, not just internationally, it's typically the age limit for these pretty much all treatments in across Europe. To have access to these reassignment and gender affirming treatments, you have to be of 18 years of age or older. But this is an interesting piece of legislation to get it to set the limit above 18. And this article also goes on to say that the LGBTQ advocates feared that this plan of theirs, this plan of this Ralph Heisens and his friends would have outed kids to their parents because of the bill 514 would have had a requirement that a state employees would immediately notify parents in writing, mind you, if their child demonstrated a desire to be treated in a way that is incompatible with the gender they were assigned at birth. Excuse me, but what the fuck? Why? Why would this be? Would it be to give the parents the opportunity, perhaps to, shall we say, beat the crap out of their kids because they're trans and queer and such? Who knows? I hope not, but it seems like it. It seems quite a bit like that. And medical professionals. So this would a big thing here would have been that this piece of pathetic excuse for a piece of legislation would have meant that these healthcare professionals would have had their license revoked and or faced civil fines up to $1,000 per occurrence. So if you treat one, it's 1,000. Treat the same patient twice, 2,000, and lose your license on the way. These is just these pieces of this. Senator Ralph Hines is just a piece of shit. I'm sorry, Ralph, but you're a piece of shit. And your friends too, who were fiddling around with you, making this pathetic excuse for a legislation or proposal proposal for legislation, most likely knowing that it would never pass or go through, pan out, whatever you like. It's weird, or it's unbelievable that or perhaps Mr. Hayes actually genuinely believed that this would go, and his friends would think that this piece of legislation would actually go through. And I don't think he and his friends were prepared for all this flashback they are now getting from the Senate, the state Senate, and most likely would have, even if it passed all the committees and votes and went to the Senate, the governor. I get the picture from this picture. I get that he would actually, this Governor Roy Cooper would have just wiped his ass with it. This Bill 514, and then this goes on to say that Democrats this year have renewed calls for ensuring LGBTQ residents stronger legal protection. I understand that the current president is Joe Biden is on his way to ensuring better rights for LGBTQ plus people, and also apparently they are making the Democrats here are making measures that would ban conversion therapy. How is it not already banned? Yeah. Yeah. It. For those who do not know, conversion therapy means that it's a practice trying to change someone's sexual orientation or gender identity. That has time and time again that has shown this. The conversion therapy has time and time again shown to be harmful. I mean, seriously harmful. And then there again, the Republicans are presently weighing a bill that would bar transgender girls and women from competing on female athletic teams in middle school, high school, and college. An action Republicans in other states have taken as well. Why is it all their issue is always trans girls and women? Why is it never trans boys and men? Why? Tell me. Is it toxic masculinity? Perhaps you want to be friends with because someone actually wants to be a guy, because they tell everyone that they're men. There's trans men, like Elliot Page, somewhat recently. Is it because it's okay to be a trans guy because trans guys are men? Is it okay because of that? Is it because they're guys? Is it that you're afraid of of trans women for some curious reason. I just don't get it. And Ryan did not comment on whether Senate Leader Berger supports the athletics bill, noting that the House, noting that noting it was introduced by a House of Republicans and is still being considered in the chamber. Look, people, this is just pure dipshittery. Pure dipshittery at its best. This is something that I could cover in. There's so much of this peddling the woo that I could have every episode of Monday News about this, because there's so much. There's so much of this shit coming in time and time again. You know, it's just weird. So, but this is just, I do not understand why it's such an obstacle, you know. So it's just ludicrous trying to, because the people who are trying to get these trying to pass these pieces of legislation, they are time and time again they are failing. They are failing time and time again. As to why they still even try, because these Republican dipshits, they know how it would have gone down with the bill in other states. Arkansas, Alabama, for example. It didn't go that it hasn't gone well, and in this case also in North Carolina it hasn't gone down all that well. And why if in North Carolina is another example of this dipshittery gone wrong. Why would they just, apparently they just don't care. They just don't care anymore. Due to hitherto unknown reasons, really. This is just incomprehensible to me. Anyway, this episode of Monday News will be a bit shorter today. However, that doesn't mean the episodes of Monday News will be shorter in the future. I would like to, however, advertise a bit my channel. The Monday News is this season 2 on my channel. I'll take that up on the screen there. Like so. So, this is the Monday News playlist you can see here. It's this Monday News playlist has now, this is it's going forward quite well. I will, however, I am, however, planning new things. New things that I have um, the Human Rights Watch from article or the report from last week. As I mentioned, the Virginia to ban the panic defense, becoming the 12th state to do so, and then about these Polish cities or towns declaring themselves um, LGBT free zones, and then I went through the anti-trans legislation in Arkansas and then Alabama with Vishanti. And I also went through this EU out with LGBTIQ freedom zone is sort of the same saga as the Polish town story, and then Brussels now out with equality plan. Those are pretty much the same. Those are the same storyline as well. As well. So this is the Monday news. I've I've um, I've streamed stuff like this on Monday news for those uh, watching live or as a replay who do not know or who have never watched my channel. Uh, I also have a show called. Now I'm just shilling out my own stuff before I go. Before I go for today, I also have the Friday Facts every Friday. Uh, all kinds of factual information with regards to LGBT stuff. I've had, for example, I've covered gender dysphoria and autism spectrum disorder (ASD). That was quite an interesting piece of broadcasting and research to do for um, for that particular show, and I and then I've done, of course, many other things on my channel. Um, Now, please, if those watching live, I know there aren't many. There are only a few, I think 2 or 3 watching at the moment. Please ask questions or give me commentary, live commentary, and I'll answer them live. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So, I have this Monday News and Friday Facts, um, the playlists which I showed you the Monday News, and you'll find the Friday Facts as well. I have the special files also, which are a number of episodes that do not fit into the season 1 category, or nor do they fit in the Monday News or Friday Facts. These special files come every now and then. There is at least one. There is at least one special files episode that I am planning on as of right now, but I will not release any other or disclose anything else before the special files comes out. This said episode of or special files. I also have a playlist which has only one video. It's called Sunday Specials. Sunday Specials are are types of videos or live streams that come around intermittently every now and then on a Sunday. The first episode of Sunday Special was with my girlfriend, Katya, and we had Japanese. We tried out Japanese snacks with snacks with a sakura theme. So, and the season one, of course, consists of sort of more of a talk show with guests and such. With Simon and sorry, not Simon Dan, sorry, conspiracy cats, conspiracy slash Bolter cats. I've had Susan Brewer, I've had Trans Atheist, I've had Bob the Science Guy. Uh, bigger audiences know, of course, Bolter cats, conspiracy cats, and Bob the Science Guy. At least I hope you would. Uh, anyway, you'll find all these playlists in the description box down below, and it's and yes, I do apologize for the previous the last show. The It was a pre-recorded video, which I usually don't do. But however, I will do in the past and in the future. I will do these recorded bits because I have a day job, or how do you want to call it? You know, I have a paid job. I'm a nurse, and this week, I think next week Monday, the yes next week Monday I will be doing for next week Monday I will be doing a recorded episode of Monday News, due to the fact that I am working the night shift. That from I have two nights, so I can't go on your live. But as I have done previously, I will have the live chat. I will have a premiere with a chat with live chats to chat with you, you lovely folk, with during the at that time of night. I typically have time to sit down for a few minutes and chat with you. Now, I hope you'll have a wonderful, wonderful week, regardless of the pandemic going on. I hope you're being safe, happy, and well, and well and safe. Love your family. Hug them if you can. If you can't, hug your cat, your dog, your pillow. You know, if you have stuffed animals, hug them. But you'll see your loved ones eventually. You know, when this pandemic is over. But for tonight, I will say good night. See you on Friday. Hello and bye bye. And